Okay, I realized a while back that the Wednesday show was, let's say, extremely long. And Wednesday became a harder day to do because a lot of weird things started popping up and weird plans and things like that. Not necessarily weird, just plans in general. So I decided that we would take the Wednesday show and we would get rid of it. Well, the reason why we're getting what you're getting tonight is because I am so tapped out on the WWE product right now. I'll shoot with you. I didn't even get a chance to watch Takeover. Didn't have a chance. And I've been obviously been following New Japan, and Impact is starting to heat up. Ring of Honor is still at a steady pace. So I thought, why not just take everything we like most about professional wrestling and throw it into a Monday show? So that being said, it is 11:12 p.m. here on the East Coast on Monday, June 18th, 2018. Wow, I almost went into time. I could have saved Bill and Ted if I could have.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't get in that phone box too early.
Oh, I wish I could, sir. 30's not that far away. Welcome to the first edition officially of the Monday Wrestling Popcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. I'm your moderator for this evening. I will chime in periodically because I don't know how to stay awake. Because we're going to be talking WWE tonight, so yay. We're going to be talking some New Japan tonight. Obviously, going to be talking about Dominion and what's going to happen with the G1 and a lot of things I actually do care about. Ring of Honor stuff is coming up tonight, too. A lot of interesting things come out of the television tapings. And on top of that, like I said, we are heading towards Slammiversary, so we're going to talk Impact tonight. All this and more tonight on the Monday Wrestling Podcast. But before we go into any of the fun stuff, welcome everyone, whether live or in archive. And if you're in our chat, you will know that we're going to have some fun tonight. But this is not a traditional WWE Raw Popcast. Oh no, we're going to talk a little bit of everything tonight. So that's what we're going to do. So obviously, we know where our bread is buttered. We know why a lot of you come here, and that is to hear us complain about WWE. And then, of course, we're going to go into stuff we actually care about, which will be a lot more in-depth conversation. Instead of me basically saying numerous times Baron Corbin tonight looked like a bald Kevin Thorne. We're going to get to that later on. But first, Ashley, what's going on in the WWE right now?
I mean, we're coming off the, well,
Money in the Bank?
We'll get to the important stuff last. Not to say that Money in the Bank wasn't a bad show. It's just it had a couple of bad matches on it. The pre-show thing with Bludgeon Brothers and Anderson and Gallows was solid. Felt that it did get a little bit rushed, though.
Didn't Gallows get hurt?
Probably, but it did feel like it was given less time than it probably should have been.
What was
in
that?
All honesty,
it was that drop kick from Harper and Rowan on the outside.
Oh, that actually caused the injury.
Yep.
No, but the fact that it just felt like the match probably could have gone like 10 or 11, and I think it only went around 7.
Oh, wow.
So, it was the second, if you don't count the title cash-in, which we'll get to, it was the second shortest match of the night.
Interesting.
So we opened up properly with Daniel Bryan beating Big Cass, which went on too long and ultimately meant that Big Cass got buried because he beat the shit out of a midget.
Wow.
I don't know whether we even did a show covering that, did we?
Nope. I have more important things to do.
There was a bit when a midget came out dressed like Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, he got heat for that, didn't
Canada. He? Well, yeah, because the idea was he was supposed to big boot him and then just like walk out cockily and up the ramp sort of thing. Cass, in his infinite wisdom, decided to go and sort of ground and pound on him Stone Cold style, like Lou Thesz Press style, punch at him.
For himself, basically, is what it sounded like.
Yeah, which wasn't part of the script.
No.
Apparently, WWE was not happy. And then on top of that, there was that injury scare, which meant he really didn't do anything on the UK tour. Which I think means Big Cass isn't ready yet. He came back too quickly.
I can agree with you 100% on that one.
Also, they need to change his Tron because every time he comes out, he's always an ass. Sometimes he's a big ass. Sometimes he's a bi-ass.
Well, the funny thing about that is the way that he's being treated currently, because obviously he's gotten to pay his dues after coming back. I will state that maybe that's done on purpose.
And then the Enzo shit.
God.
And all that stuff.
I mean, I still don't like Enzo Amore as a performer, but I'm starting to really understand that this guy kind of got
both of them were as bad as each other.
Yeah, they both were good for each other, basically, and if you know what I mean.
Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. The build-up was fucking terrible. Thankfully, the match was somewhat short, but it was basically like a Bobby Lashley squash match for somebody like Sami Zayn, who's actually a good wrestler, and for somebody like Bobby Lashley, who really hasn't been, at least in terms of the build that he's been getting. I didn't realize until I heard the actual report of it from Meltzer. The fact that he got injured, his career-ending injury, for the Olympics,
right,
was when he avoided a shot from an armed robber in a bank. He fell to the floor, and in the way that he fell to the floor, it fucked up his knee forever. At least in terms of being able to do Olympic competition. That's the proper story. Not like he disappeared for a decade and now he's back. That's the proper story.
why are they even doing this garbage right now? Seriously, such a waste of Sami Zayn, and they don't even know what they want to do with Lashley at this point.
Yep,
it's ridiculous.
Seth Rollins beat Elias to retain the IC title with a handful of tights, admittedly. So that was a bit sort of okay. Seth's doing heelish things. Which made me think, right, well, there's the build-up to Extreme Rules, because Elias can obviously say, I shouldn't have lost.
Right.
But we'll get to that. Then the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The positive thing is it was better than last year. You could still see it was sort of like you two or three can go in the ring, you do your ladder spot, then you do your ladder spot.
Mm.
Alexa won, taking out, I think, Charlotte and Becky, from what I remember. But Becky Lynch did very well. Charlotte was solid. Ember Moon in her sort of main roster proper debut on a pay-per-view was very, very good. Lana was surprisingly good. I hope that they actually give her more chance to actually do something in the company rather than just be Rusev's wife. Naomi was good. I completely forgot Natalya was in it. She didn't do a huge amount. And Sasha Banks, who gives a fuck, the feud must continue. We'll get to that. Alexa made the most sense. And I sort of figured out what was coming. Especially because of the placement of the match. Next up, Roman Reigns beat Jinder Mahal. Now I'm trying to find the list of the bloody chants that happened last night.
Oh, I saw it early. I saw it last night, actually. But, I mean, well, I can't say last night for like 40 minutes, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's one of them.
Boring. NXT. This is awful. Rusev Day,
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Wrestling, Asshole, Let's Go Cena, Cena Sucks.
Let's Go Cena CM Punk.
As well. Ole, 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 The Elite, the Elite. Let's Go Beach Ball. A giant Mexican wave as well. End This Now.
I think I heard a Velveteen chant too.
Yeah, Velveteen was in there as well. Charlie Robinson tweeted, apparently, for a great town that Chicago is for wrestling, it's disappointing that it can be so disrespectful when guys like Jinder are busting their butts and giving us a great match. That's the thing. It wasn't a great match. It just felt like a match that would be on a bloody house show. And this is on a pay-per-view to try and put Roman over as like a credible threat. And you put him against a twat like Jinder, who probably doesn't deserve his place yet. On the roster. So I don't know.
I just don't care. I just don't care about these things.
Then we had Carmella beating Asuka with thanks to James Ellsworth in an Asuka mask and coat, and revealing that James Ellsworth doesn't know how to fucking wink.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Anybody that's been watching this show for a long time, and Ashley, you'll back me up on this, knows how much I hate James Ellsworth. Here's the thing, though. When he has been on, he's been a semi-regular on Grimm's Toy Show lately, and
not for long.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. The thing is, they set up an angle with him to do a rematch with Barbara, with Bellcat or heel wife. So we'll see what happens with that. I will state right now that I think I like Ellsworth more in his GTS stuff, his Andy Kaufman stuff, than I did in WWE when he's basically just Carmella's keychain. But I guess we'll see where we go from here. I mean, I don't care.
The important thing for me is Carmella might actually get over now.
I don't think so.
Because I think that when she didn't have him for the past few months, especially as champion, she was sort of lacking the, why should I give a shit about this?
Oh, I don't care.
Ellsworth's involved, just as like a manager capacity, I'm somehow more enthralled. That is, of course, unless this is like fucking Jinder and the Great Khali from last year, when it's, you'll never see him again.
I mean, all intents and purposes, I'm pretty positive we're going to see him on SmackDown this week.
Yeah, but is he going to be got rid of immediately there and then?
I mean, it's possible. I guess we'll see.
That's my fear. It's just like, you did the pop just because it's Chicago, rather than actually give them, you know, something that they might be actually interested in. Then we actually get to the interesting bit, but I'm guessing is now the end. Styles Nakamura 5. 6 if you count New Japan. The last man standing match was very good, especially with the finish, because Nakamura just manages to get up from a 10 count, and he just leans up on the announce table and goes, "Fabian!" And AJ just smacks him so far in the dick, I think his testicles went into orbit.
Oh, God.
And then proceeded to give a phenomenal forearm off the ropes onto Nakamura, who was on the announce table outside. And AJ won. And we know from what happened on Raw, because we might as well mention this because it doesn't even relate to Raw, other than it was an advert. They're doing a gauntlet match with Joe, Miz, Rusev, Daniel Bryan, and somebody else that I can't remember. It might have been Kofi because of the whole ladder match thing, but it might have been somebody else. I can't even remember.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps Randy Orton will take the spot. As to who faces AJ at Extreme Rules. In some sort of stipulation, obviously. I guess the dream probably is Joe.
Yeah, that's probably a good bet.
We'll see. Then Ronda Rousey beating Nia Jax by DQ. First thing I have to say, Ronda was actually excellent.
She's a natural. She really is.
The selling is still got a little bit of work, but it was much better than it was at Mania. The spots that she did, including the 2 giant judo toss style throws that she did on Nia, were very good. But then, of course, Bliss comes in out of nowhere and smacks the shit out of both of them with the briefcase. Cashes in. Nia gets hit with the DDT. Twisted Bliss, which we haven't seen for quite a while. And Alexa wins. So the moral of the story is bullies win.
Yeah.
No matter what, bullies win. That Be a Star thing got fucked up by Saudi Arabia, didn't it?
Pretty much.
And then Braun winning Money in the Bank. I don't understand why, because I'd have thought he would have been a contender anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of pointless to say the least.
Although Braun Strowman coming out from buried ladders was pretty decent. Then the chain of spots. So Braun manages to somehow drag Kevin Owens partly up the side of one of the giant ladders on the stage. Throws Kevin about 20 foot off through tables covered with black sheeting so you can't tell that they're tables. Destroys Kofi, destroys Rusev, destroys Joe. Comes down to ringside. I think it's Rude and Balor are running in with a ladder. Braun smashes and splits the ladder in 2. Rude and Balor just go flying because they've been taken out. And in the ring is the Miz, who's just about ready to climb up, trying to use a distraction. And Braun's like at ringside, like in the turnbuckle area. And he looks at him, and Miz's face. What was that character that Miz played in Southpaw?
Oh, God. It's the guy with no charisma whatsoever.
I can't even remember the name.
What was his name? Oh, hold on. I have to think about it. Yeah, Adam Doong.
Yeah. That look of that Adam Doong had after he witnessed what Mr. McElroy had in store for him, you know, with the Voodoo New Day crew.
Oh my God.
He had that look. He had that look about his face, which was just awesome. Braun eventually won. I think it was him, Miz, and Kofi on Braun's back. He took care of Miz, threw Kofi off, and Actually, he didn't unhook the briefcase. He pulled the fucking latch off the chain. He just broke the thing.
Yeah.
Braun wins. Solid show. But again, the issue. It went 4.25 hours, not even including the pre-show. I don't think it needs to be that long.
Oh my
In
God,
all
no.
honesty. Something needs to happen. So then Raw tonight from Grand Rapids, Michigan. So the big thing is they start with Kurt Angle giving Alexa Bliss the title and then saying how, by the way, you will be defending Extreme Rules because Nia's invoking her rematch. And Bliss is like, where's my chance to sort of say thank you to the fans? Because I told you so. And then Ronda showed up, and Kurt was like, look, you don't want to do this. And Alexa went, this is the difference between the UFC. What I did was legal. Legal. And it's official. Alexa Bliss is legal for those of you wanting to know. And she basically just, made fun of her. So Ronda Rousey destroyed the bitch. And then she destroyed Kurt Angle. And then she went to destroy Alexa some more.
That Dr. Bomb through the table looked
Smashed
nasty.
the shit out of both Bliss and Kurt with the briefcase as well. Then went and got into like a legit fight with 4 referees. I believe they are all dead.
Pretty much.
And she storms off to the back. And then Kurt informs her, I'm going to have to suspend you for 30 days. And Ronda's like, you're clearly not in it. You're clearly just doing it for your lapdogs and whatever, Don't worry, when I come back after my 30 days, I'll be taking out that that pink-haired bitch. Part of me, and then there was a random bit afterwards of Renee wishing her good luck and whatever, and it's like, nah, she won't need luck or something.
This is literally the Ronda we need to have.
Yeah, but you know what this leaves the way to? Ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
My name is Paul Heyman. And fuck Brock Lesnar, I am the advocate for Ronda Rousey. It leaves it wide open.
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense that that's going to be the direction they're going to go because Ronda does not need to talk. It's actually better that she doesn't.
So, Seth Rollins comes out and says, we're doing an IC title open challenge. And out comes Dolph Ziggler.
I was hoping this would be somebody
then Drew
else.
McIntyre. And I missed this because I had to go get my dinner. And when I came back, I was like, oh, I guess that's a DQ then. Because Drew McIntyre got involved. But no. Ziggler pinned him. We got a new champion from out of nowhere.
I mean, it was good. It was a good match, but at least
my problem is they're a tag team. What's going on?
Well, I mean, if you haven't noticed, this is basic, and it's exactly the same situation and I know a lot of people have said this before, and a lot of people are going to say this about Dolph Ziggler, is the fact that he just wants to be Shawn Michaels so bad that he literally went and found his own Diesel. So they're doing Diesel and Shawn with Drew and Dolph right now. That's exactly what they're doing here. And Drew helped him win the title inadvertently. So yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're literally trying to save the rest of Dolph's career by turning him into Shawn Michaels. And then they just laid Rollins out after the match was over with the Claymore zigzag combo that they love so much. I mean, I'm okay with this, but I don't understand the direction we're going with this because there's no other singles title that McIntyre can foreseeably go for because
women's title.
Yeah, they're not putting him in the world title picture. I mean, it could.
And afterwards, Ziggler says Monday Night Rollins is cancelled and there's no reboot. It's our show. And unlike former champ, and then Drew says, unlike former champs, we won't let this make us soft. And it's like, okay, was that a random dig at like Big Cass and Enzo? Or something?
Probably. I don't know, maybe.
Bobby Roode beat Kurt Hawkins. Bloody hell.
What's going on with Hawkins? Is he going to get like 300 losses before he wins his first match?
Seems like it. Then Mr. Monster in the Bank comes out and says, I've smashed tables, broken ladders, flipped an ambulance, won a giant trophy in Saudi Arabia. Hell, I've even played the cello. But the Money in the Bank's the best bit of his career so far. And now all Brock Lesnar has to do is show his face, and he's going to cash in and become the new champ. So here comes Kevin Owens. And Strowman's like, I'm surprised you're here considering I threw you off a ladder. And Owens is like, look, it hurts to breathe, let alone talk. But I want to be the first one to say congratulations. I knew you'd win. That's why I wanted to talk about all the opponents into attacking you, but nobody would listen to me. I hope you do, Braun. You need to have a strategy. That's where I come in, Sammy's nowhere to be seen. He got injured by vertigo last night. So they're still playing on that shit. At WrestleMania, you needed a partner. You got a kid out the crowd. You need a friend to look out for you. And then Strowman's like, what the hell? And I was like, okay, Bep's not friend. But look, I know how prestigious it is to be Universal Champ. Maybe after we use each other and you cash in your contract, maybe I can get a match for the title. We can start tonight, Monster and Man. I don't want to get these hands. I'm too hurt. All I want to do is shake your hand. And they shake hands. And Strowman doesn't let go. And Owens is like pulling away 2 or 3 times to go, please. And Braun goes for a running power slam, but Owens gets out and runs up the ramp. It was nice, but it sort of went nowhere. Possibly showing you why Braun shouldn't have won the briefcase and should have just been in the title hunt immediately.
I mean, they could have done something with anybody in this match last night just to actually justify a new star, but nope, didn't do that.
And then this shit, Bayley and Sasha in the back. They're they want to be on the same page and they shake hands and they're going to be taking on the Riot Squad later. Oh dear. And then here comes Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. But then after we get to the commercial break, as they're set to take on Heath Slater and Rhino, which, by the way, they win. But the B team show up. Curtis is Matt, and, you know, of course, brilliantly, Bo Dallas impersonating his brother Bray. And eventually they sort of fail. They sort of give up on the gimmick, and it's just like, look, we're not afraid of you, and we're coming after the tag team titles. And instead of blowing out the lantern, it's one of these pop-up camping lanterns which he closes. Except the video doesn't cut off, and they're like there for like 20 seconds. They have to go, how did they stop the video of it? Oh, let's just creep down, and you just see them heads go down off camera. That shit was brilliant. More of that, please. But yeah, Deleters of Worlds won with the kiss of deletion. Bo was brilliant, though. That, you know, I mean, it would make sense that he'd have a pretty good impression of Bray Wyatt. So much so that I swear Bray was corpsing.
He was.
The best bit. Then Kurt and Constable Corbin are backstage, and something happens. I don't know. Apparently, there's some big news, and an announcement will be made later tonight. So now, Jinder Mahal comes out and says, human beings must be open to change. And last night I felt them. What, all the people that weren't there because of all the tumbleweed that was in the arena? Although Roman may have won the match, I won the battle of self-improvement. Just like the crowd, Roman is bitter and angry, and I found tranquility. And as a spiritual being, I stay committed to change, unlike my opponent, Chad Gable. Gable is living his former glory as an amateur wrestler. Forget the past and the darkness. And Jinder beats the shit out of him. Gable actually gets to do his moonsault and everything, so he does get to do some stuff, but he still gets squashed. I don't know what this was. If we're still trying to put Jinder Mahal as a good contender, you should have had Seth Rollins stay as champion. Because him versus Dolph Ziggler and Mountain makes no sense.
Nope.
And Chad Gable's getting wasted. Oh, here comes the NWO. Sorry, the Riot Squad. Because they're smashing the catering's table. They broke some guy's laptop. They sliced somebody's tie off. And then they got a mirror and did a giant black R in black lipstick on it. For fuck's sake.
Well, there was
Stop
rumors.
doing this. Have Ruby Riott or Sarah Logan or Liv Morgan fucking behead the other two as if it's Islamic State. Because I'm getting sick of this shit. Stables do not need to fucking belong. Case in point, Bayley and Sasha. Oh, look, we can get to that point. They have a fucking fight about it. This has gone on too fucking long for me to give a fucking shit about this storyline. If you wanted to be interested, you should have pulled the fucking trigger 12 months ago.
No, at this point, we need to just send Bayley back to NXT. She needs a reboot and fast.
I don't know. I feel Sasha's the one that actually needs to. Bayley needs the. Bayley needs the character change.
Right.
Sasha just needs to. I don't know. Learn to actually have a decent character. Then again, she herself was the victim of the Charlotte push thing.
True.
She?
Speaking of that, well, what use did it have to Charlotte to end Asuka's streak when they haven't done anything with it.
Eggs fucking Ackley.
Yup.
And then bloody Bailey and Sasha fight bloody backstage. And the great thing is you could hear the crowd reaction. There wasn't any because they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So Kurt's in the ring like, Christ, how can I get control of the show? And it's like, well, WWE officials have determined when Brock will next defend the title. And he's about to say what's going to happen, but... Of course, Roman wants it. And then, of course, fucking Lashley shows up and says, I've been wanting... You know, even before I came to WWE, I watched you, Roman, bang your head against the wall to try and beat Brock Lesnar. Great job! Yeah, one job. Fucking hell. And he's been trying to get his hands on Lesnar since Roman was a little pup.
God.
Well, did you actually go to the Inoki Genome Federation? So then Angle says the person that faces Brock next is the one that wins the multi-person match at Extreme Rules. The participants will be announced in due course, but I can say that both you guys are in it. And then here comes the revival.
Because that makes a whole bunch of sense.
We've been busting our backs to get an opportunity on Raw. You know, these so-called top guys are always standing in our way, but that changes. We're challenging you to a match right here and right now. Two of the best superstars against the best tag team in the world. I mean, what? One, hashtag fuck the revival.
Yeah, no lie.
And two, why aren't you tag team champions then if you're the best tag team in the world?
Well, you're not wrong, but still.
And it's like, look, we've got a feeling that you aren't going to get along, so that's how we're going to win. And Roman Reigns is like, no, like it's actually fucking a thing that was written by a 10-year-old kid. No, shut up. Like, fucking hell. Then it's like, well, if Bobby pays attention, he might learn something. It's like, fucking hell. Lashley's terrible. Roman Reigns is terrible. The revival is better than this. And then, of course, the best thing that did come out of this is Dash gets hit with a Superman punch, only for Lashley to blind tag Roman and the murder, death, kill.
Yeah, I haven't seen that since Impact. He needs to be using that because he does it so much better than Roman
That does a fucking spear.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was basically just anything you can do, I can do better.
Pretty much.
We saw that. It was called, that actually was anything you can do, I can do better in Velveteen and Ricochet. But we'll get to that. More Constable Corbin. Then Finn Balor says he wants to be in the match at Extreme Rules to get a shot at Brock. And Corbin goes, and then Owen sort of shows up and says, look, Balor doesn't deserve a shot. And then Braun shows up and says, I'm here to protect my friend Balor. And, you know, I should be a contender anyway because I've got the briefcase. And we set up the main event. It's a tag match or something. Then the confirmation of AJ Styles being on the cover of 2K19 and being some sort of $1 million challenge or something.
Yeah,
happening.
The gimmick is if the person that wins has to play AJ in a match, and if he can beat him in the game, they'll win $1 million.
Up to $1 million.
Well, considering the fact that I don't have any ability on a PlayStation 4,
Let's be honest,
I'm probably not entering this contest.
Let's be honest, though. This is just 2K being. Well, to be honest, do you think 2K are going to give a shit considering that the NBA game comes out roughly that time anyway for them, which probably makes more money?
Probably.
And also, 2K's parent company, Take-Two, has got a little small game you might have heard of called Red Dead Redemption coming out 3 weeks later. Which one do you think is going to show up in the third quarter earnings? Not WWE. So this is WWE trying to be desperate. The big thing that it's also got going against it, by the looks of it, it's releasing in or around the same time as Call of Duty, which is always very concerning.
I want it. I haven't gotten a WWE game in a couple years, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to get it.
Jobber Mojo Rawley versus No Way Jose.
Oh my god. This is when I just decided to be like, you know what? I'm going to get snacks.
The fucking Jobber won, though.
There's no point to this match.
Mojo hit his running forearm and his hyperdrive and got the win. So then Charlie says, so, does this mean more success is coming? And Rawley's like, I was used to be about being hyped, but now I'm about staying focused. It's like, who gives a fuck?
You still suck.
Sasha's angry, gets in a car. Bailey is unhappy. For fuck's sake.
I don't care about this stuff anymore.
And then Elias, in a different key to his guitar. It's like, there's no one in the world like him. When times get hard, ask yourself, what would Elias do?
Comments from chat. Hyro says, can't believe they made an NXT UK. We'll get to that. Hyro asked if Travis Banks is going to be part of it.
Of what?
The UK version of NXT.
I'd have thought so. We'll get to that.
And one Triple S
on the news.
Yeah, one Triple S says a lot. Well, continuing. One Triple S says a lot of people are mad of NXT messing up El Ligero. I don't know how it's so bad.
We'll get to that.
We have to get this crappy Raw up first, and then we can start talking about important stuff.
Yeah.
You know how Wednesday shows work, guys.
Seth had to cheat at Money in the Bank because he knows I had him beat. But Seth got what he deserved by losing his title because there's no one in the world like Elias. And then he says about how Lesnar's looking for a fight, so Extreme Rules should be his night. Elias has nothing to fear of the Beast because I'll be walking. The Beast soul is vapid like the trash in Grand Rapids. And there's no one in the world like me. There's nothing I can't do. But when times get tough, ask yourself, what would Elias do? Wait, he rhymed do with do? Fuck off. How lazy writing is that? Fucking hell. And then Balor and Strowman versus Owens and Constable Corbin.
Jeremy
the
Mills.
first syllable of Constable being the appropriate one.
Yep.
It was an okay match. But, and then sort of like from nowhere, Corbin hitting the end of days. But also it was more important about it just being Braun. It's weird. The show started off interesting because of that big surprise title change with Ziggler.
Right.
And then it sort of fell off to some extent. Because the main event was basically just Braun being Braun. That's all that mattered. And and the Rousey bit at the start was really good as well. I don't know. So now we get to the important stuff like NXT Takeover Chicago 2. Because I don't want you to remember that there was one last year.
Perhaps.
So we opened with Undisputed Era versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. This, to me, was the sleeper hit.
That
This
was
was the
really
one
good.
that I wasn't expecting a lot from, but it was really, really good. All four were great in it. Undisputed Era winning with a couple of sick kicks from your boy, Roddy Strong. Then we had Velveteen versus Ricochet. Man, that shit is bananas. Bananas. It was just really well. And of course, the finish with the 630 and everything. Also, it's worth noting Velveteen Dream did come out like Hulk Hogan.
Yes, he did.
But that was pretty well done. Then Shayna Baszler beating Nikki Cross to retain the NXT Women's title after Cross smiled while passing out in a choke. It was It was weird at first because Nikki's like hit me, and it's like I thought it was an Ian Jury bloody song for a minute. It was nice, but it sort of felt like Shayna's just filler for what's to come. Then Aleister Black beat Lars Sullivan, which they was trying to advertise as oh my god, Lars Sullivan is making Aleister Black the underdog. How come it was the fucking other way round when they fought each other, 6 months ago?
I'm still not sold on Lars Sullivan, and I haven't been for a while.
He doesn't know whether he's Bruno Sammartino or Shrek.
He comes off like Festus.
That as well. But Black won with Black Mass.
Isn't that the one that missed by a mile?
Oh, he hit 2 or 3 from what I remember.
He missed one big time.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
Well, let's just get to the important one. The Chicago Street Fight.
Oh, yes.
Gargano dressed up as Captain America, which should have been a sign at the end in the first place. And then Ciampa with this specially designed shirt saying Ciampa takes over Chicago, including, and I didn't see this until I saw the still on Ciampa's Twitter, it has the Thanos effect on Johnny Gargano on the front. With him pixelating away into dust.
He is the most hated man in one of the most hated men in wrestling right now, and it's fantastic. He went on record saying he does not want them to make merch for him.
Yeah, but that's going to get problematic.
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean,
because then people will start doing their own merch, and then that's lost revenue.
Yep.
Which Ciampa isn't getting. Candice bloody gave Gargano a crutch and just said, kick his ass, which is already a sign that it was fucked. Then, of course, they did a fan's cardboard sign that just so happened to have a stop sign in the middle of it.
EC
Which, of course,
Dub.
led to an ECW chant. The
Of
great thing
course.
is, when Elijah Burke came out as one of the bloody Triple H jobbers, you know, the suits, nobody paid attention. Gargano whipped the shit out of Ciampa with a belt, so that led to a "You deserve it" chant. Then we also had a nice bit when Ciampa pulled back the mats to expose the bare boards of the ring. So it then went into the ringside, and Ciampa got Johnny's wedding ring, spat on it, and threw it away. And then Gargano gave Ciampa an Emerald Fusion off some crates for a table that was on the floor. So they got a stretcher on him, put a neck collar on him, and then Gargano looks at his hand and notice that the ring is missing. And Gargano snaps. Gets him off the stretcher, drags him back to the ring, puts a crossface on him, Ciampa's tapping. For some reason, there's no fucking referee. There was no ref bump. So I don't know where the referee was. The officials tried to break it up, but they beat the shit out. He beat the shit out of them. Then Gargano handcuffed Ciampa and hit him with God knows how many super kicks. Put on the crossface again. Ciampa tapped again. More officials showed up. No referee still. So he takes care of them. He gets back up on the apron to where Ciampa is, sort of by the bare boards. Ciampa grabs him, despite with the hands behind his back. DDTs Johnny sweetly on the exposed wooden boards. Covers Gargano. The referee's like, I don't want to do this. And Ciampa's like, count it. This is a match. Makes the 3 count. Ciampa wins. Gets let go of his handcuffs. Drags the stretcher up with him because he's clearly going to be using it when we get to backstage. And the show just ends with him doing the hand wave. Man, that's how you end the show. Overall, I still have to say it's the weakest takeover yet. Because I sort of feel that the Aleister Black-Lars Sullivan match wasn't special. And the Shayna Baszler Nikki Cross match wasn't that special. Because of what's actually got taped today and what's getting taped tomorrow. And the upcoming plans.
We'll get to that. But before we do,
I think that's the issue.
We've got some chat questions and comments.
Uh-oh.
Welcome, Jeremy Mills. One Triple S says, I'm glad Nia is no longer champion because Alexa was right. She was a bully. Yeah, pretty much. Hyro says, off topic, why make Goto champion again? Man, they should just end it. But it's nice to hear about Jeff Cobb. We'll talk about that.
Well, is it though? We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yeah, we'll get to that. I'm a little perturbed about that. But we'll get to that in a bit. One Triple S didn't like Cross and Shayna Baszler. I'm pretty sure most people didn't. Hyro asks, is Jimmy Havoc too violent for NXT?
Yes.
I think so. Hyro also says Takeover should have more matches. And One Triple S says maybe if the UK division gets involved, that would require more matches. Possibly. Considering the fact that I've been championing a secondary championship in NXT for the singles to work for, and it took how many years for it to finally happen?
17.
Exactly. And over embellishment is still true. So this leads us to today.
I didn't say it properly because I had to have a drink. 17,268 years.
That works.
Huh.
That brings us to today.
Now so this is spoilers for next week, so we'll be able to react to it properly next week.
Mm-hmm.
The Royal Albert Hall hosting the first night of the UK tournament. Apparently, they were hyping up the November tour. Braun Strowman was cheered. Elias was cheered. Roman Reigns was booed out the fucking building. Which for the Royal Albert Hall, that's impressive. In the dark match, Amir Jordan beat Joseph Connors. And by the sounds of it, it may only be Nigel McGuinness and Mauro doing the commentary. God, what a day to be alive.
That's fantastic news.
So, the quarterfinals went like this. Zach Gibson beat Jack Gallagher. Joe Coffey beat Dave Mastiff. In somewhat of an upset, Flash Morgan Webster beat Jordan Devlin. The great thing is the fans were apparently chanting shit Finn Balor at Devlin.
That's great.
And Travis Banks beat Ashton Smith. So then we got to the women's four-way. Toni Storm, Isla Dawn, Killer Kelly, and Ginny. Something must have got fucked up. Because there was a big spot apparently towards the end of it. And Ginny, I think, got legit knocked the fuck out. The ref threw up the X, called for help and everything. Ginny got carried but walked to the back. And from what I've heard from the people in the sort of know, or aka backstage, she's recovered from being knocked out, but obviously she wasn't in any condition to sort of compete any further, so that's why they pulled it when they did. Triple H came out then and said that the remaining three women, Toni, Kelly, and Isla Dawn, will be competing again coming up. Ben talks about how UK talents have been making themselves worldwide names, and then introduces the WWE UK General Manager, Johnny Saint. And then Saint goes, "Oh, I'm here to announce the commencement." That's his words as well. I love it. The commencement of the NXT UK brand. Featuring the best of UK wrestling, men and women, and tag teams as well. There will be a British women's champion and a British tag team champion decided over the upcoming shows. So it begins with tapings in Cambridge at the end of July. Then, I guess because it worked so well for Fight Club Pro back in April, WWE is working with the Insomnia Gaming Festival to do the August tapings over the bank holiday weekend out of the NEC. So that'll be interesting. You'll actually get a WWE show in the NEC, not in the NEC Arena or the Genting Arena or whatever they call it. I approve. Then October 13th and 14th in Plymouth. And then Thanksgiving weekend, November 24th and 25th. They're going to be at Liverpool Olympia. Oh, wait. They're doing pretty much all the same venues, sort of, that 5-Star Wrestling did. Isn't there an irony there?
Wow.
Especially Plymouth. Plymouth Pavilions is where one of the actual okay-ish shows for 5-Star Wrestling happened. Admittedly, there are only 5, but there you go. Then Toni Storm won the three-way, so not surprising. She's going to challenge Shayna for the title tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen there. I think if you want to be ballsy, have Toni come in and just win it from the off. Then in the semifinals, Zach Gibson beat Flash Morgan Webster and Travis Banks beat Joe Coffey, but afterwards Coffey attacked Travis, threw him into the ring post. Then the six-man happened, and British Strong Style beat Undisputed Era. So I'm guessing they seem to be angling towards possibly Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole, either at the NXT tapings at Full Sail or TakeOver SummerSlam.
It's a very good possibility.
And I think probably because of what happened, Mustache Mountain is probably challenging O'Reilly and Strong tomorrow night.
That's confirmed, actually.
That has been confirmed, right?
I actually think the Dunn Cole match might be tomorrow too.
Well, no, because Dunn's facing the UK tournament.
That's
winner.
right. Yeah, they're building to Dunn and Cole.
Shawn Michaels came out for something. And in the final, Travis Banks lost. Yes. The guy that probably nobody will be able to understand at some points, Zach Gibson, is challenging to become the number one UK guy. Which from a guy that sort of, this is a guy that was on 5-Star Wrestling at the start of a year, got pulled off it because he couldn't be on it because this was happening. And then, lo and behold, as 5-Star Wrestling dies, his career goes up and up and fucking up. Irony much? So, yeah, that all happened. I'm just loving it, though. I like it a lot. And all that. So there you go. I think that's all the major WWE news that I can think of.
Okay, well,
NXT.
We shall.
Oh, I have heard reports that the match, they had TM61 versus War Raiders.
Yep.
On the pre-show, which will be on NXT this week. But also, the one that got very widely praised, Dakota Kai versus Bianca Belair. I've heard that is very good. Apparently. Which is always nice. Any other comments in the chat?
Yeah, a few things before we move on to Impact. Oh, my dad. Lots of stuff. So NXT should have a Survivor Series. Now they have another brand with another championship. I can see that. And for all the people in the tournament, even Travis Banks, that means they can no longer do Defiant. Yeah.
Well, yeah. The thing with El Ligero, it was brilliant. So the whole mystique is El Ligero is like El Generico. He's from Mexico. They were openly saying he was from Leeds. And this guy who's normally mute for most of his career or doing like El Generico style, yeah, lucha, yeah, like generic sort of like trying to sound Mexican stuff, was just talking with a Leeds accent. Like, I'm here to win. And it's like, there's the mystique gone. El Ligero's finished. I mean, he isn't. But the mystique is sort of gone. It's like the Kofi Kingston. People actually thought he was from Ghana, and then it's like, oh wait, he isn't. So yeah, basically that.
Okay. So let's see. Hyro says maybe they could bring in Viper or Nixon Newell.
I don't know what's going on with Viper.
Yeah, neither do I.
Because I don't know whether... Let me see if there's any notes about the tapings that they did. Oh, of course they were doing free tickets. No, I don't think she is, because when they began the taping for the World of Sport shows, the people that appeared in it were Osprey, Davey Boy Jr., Grado, Doug Williams, Rampage Round, Shay Samuels, Lionheart, Kaylee Ray, Viper. So clearly they weren't that interested in them, despite the fact that WWE should have been. Kirby, Hendry, B. Priestley, Nathan Cruz, Yeston Reese, Kip Sabian, Robbie X, Justin Sism, Adam Maxted, Gabriel Kidd, H.T. Drake, Liam Slater, and C.J. Banks. Also, what's his name? Stu Bennett is part of it. And apparently, just to really piss me and Owen off, the commentators apparently might be SoCal Vow and Alex Shane.
God, why?
Huh. 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 Oh, and Osprey, if I didn't mention that already.
Let's see a couple other.
I really don't know what's going on with that. I haven't even heard anything about it. It needs to be on soonish. The best thing though would be if WWE just came out and said, "Oh yeah, we're putting it on the BBC prime time," just to really piss off ITV and World of Sport, which would be beautiful. Let's hope that happens.
Let's see. Will they have takeovers or events? Hyro asks.
Maybe. Keep in mind, Triple H, and every time they've done the conference calls, he's been openly sort of wanting a WWE pay-per-view to happen in the UK again, because he knows the fan base is that, you know, rabid for it, or rabid for it, I should say. I mean, hell, look at how well the NXT Takeover London did. What was it, year and a half ago? Like December 2016? That did really well. So imagine, I'm wondering whether it's how they're going to be able to. I'm guessing because some people might not be interested in the gaming stuff at Insomnia, they will be doing separate tickets for that. Like they did actually do separate tickets for the Fight Club Pro show earlier on in the year. So we'll see.
Let's see. Winter Boy says, surprised they don't use Empress Ballroom for events.
Probably for logistical reasons, I'm guessing.
I know this one is true because I was reading about it today. Yes, it is Walter and Adam Cole for the North American Championship at Evolve.
This weekend.
Yep.
So Adam Cole's going to be really fucking busy. He's got TV tapings, and then he's got to face Walter.
Would UK need a performance center if they're going to have a brand?
I mean,
I think that's what the indie.
because of Progress and because of ICW and
Yeah.
because Travis Banks trains everybody at Fight Club Pro,
Yep.
they sort of don't need to. And keep in mind, Pete Dunne sort of was involved in the startup of Attack Pro from Wales as well. These guys have got their fingers in a lot of fucking pies. I mean, so much so, you know how they're saying, oh, the WWE people can't be on other people's shows?
Right.
You did hear that we're going to get, I think it's Tyler Bate versus Will Ospreay at the next Fight Club Pro show. So, although you can't have, it's not like they're not allowing Ospreay to fight any of their contracted people.
Right.
They aren't being that snooty about it or anything. But yeah, Tyler Bate versus Will Ospreay is certainly happening. Along with Jordan Devlin and Naoki Tanizaki, the former Dolphin from Dragon Gate, along with Eddie Edwards, CCK, and Volta. And that's a week on Friday. So I'll be hyping that up more next week.
See what else we got in chat. They should bring Bram back in NXT UK.
I don't know. I think he's happy enough in ICW at the minute. To some extent.
One Triple S and Hyro both asking about Sam Gradwell.
Keep an eye on him. Something interesting could happen there.
One Triple S says BT Gunn.
Again, I think he's probably busy with ICW stuff.
And the last
I don't think they're trying to steal too many people from ICW, because then it would actually be seen by too many people as a talent raid.
Oh yeah. Last comment before we move on to our next part of the show. Kind of weird that WWE and Defiant can make an agreement to share their talent, even though What Culture follows WWE.
Well, yeah. Well, it's still a threat, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a promotion. Hell, they just had their bloody... it's not even bloody listed here, actually. They had their Defiant show this weekend. Have I even got the results for it? I remember that Rampage Brown retained the world title and then Gabriel Kidd challenged him. Because, that makes sense. Maybe. We have got a new women's champion. Millie McKenzie dropped the title. I think we know why. Because it was her birthday. Amazingly, she's only 18. I completely even forgot that. Let me have a quick look. Gabriel Kidd beat. Oh, that's from last year, you stupid fucking website. Is that proof that nobody gives a shit with the fact that there isn't even a card list? There aren't even any results for this thing. Wow. Well done, Defiant. Wow.
I mean,
Wow, that says a lot. Or is it actually on Cage Match, just hidden? Nope, we haven't even got it on Cage Match. So I can't remember. I might have to search on fucking Twitter.
So we've got obviously another thing that we haven't talked about for a while, and that is JCW. It's time for the annual gathering of Juggalos, which means it's time for more JCW wrestling.
The Juggy Lows, oh my word.
And it has officially been announced that the special open challenge from the Human Tornado has been accepted by former WCW World Heavyweight Champion David Arquette.
Okay. That's unexpected.
Yeah, Arquette actually returned. He's actually gotten in some great shape. He's doing some martial arts. He's in great shape, and he's definitely trying to make another go at it. JCW will also present Battle of the Sexes at the Gathering of the Juggalos, featuring Joey Janela, the Penelope Ford, and Jeff Cannonball, Tara Calloway. Let's see, Aja Pereira, Desi Dorada, Shane Mercer, Kira Hogan, and so much more. So I'm trying to find cards for Bloody Mania, but it's like JCW stuff is super hard to find. I've tried to get results in the past, but it's just like, nope. But I mean, I'm trying to find stuff for you guys to get you some JCW, at least news about the show. Because there's some interesting matches every single year that they have at the gathering, so I will try to find out more information and bring it back to you guys next week here on the Monday Wrestling Popcast. Because we still have until July 18th for the gathering starts. So still.
Yeah.
One Triple S asks, Punishment New Champ, what does it make for Aries? How about we make to our segue? Thank you, One Triple S. Let's talk Ring of Honor.
The Ring of Honor stuff. Right, so
I want to do Impact next, but I mean, it looks like we're going to Ring of Honor next.
Well, the big stuff is what happened, the pay-per-view stuff that happened this weekend.
Yep.
It wasn't even TV tapings, it was just like random shows in Texas. The Kingdom beat the Boys. Flip Gordon beat Rhett Titus. Sumi Sakai and Tennille Dashwood beat Kelly Klein and Thunder Rosa. Why are they suddenly on the same page again? I don't get that. Jay Lethal beat TK Orion. Atlantis, Stuka Jr. and Guerrero Maya Jr. beat SoCal Uncensored. And of course, Scorpio Sky said it's the worst town he's ever been in, because that's now. I see you!
New shirt available for Wrestling Tees.
Silas Young beat Kurt Stallion. Bully Ray, Shane Taylor, and Punishment Martinez beat Delirious Cheeseburger and Hurricane Helms. Cody beat John Gresham. And then the Bullet Club beat Matt Taven, Vinny Marsaglia, and the Killer Elite Squad, who replaced the Briscoes because they had travel issues. Which is sad. The following night, Dallas. We have Tennille Dashwood beating Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, though, establishing that Ring of Honor might want her before anybody else steals her. The Young Bucks beat the Boys. Then Cody came out afterwards with Brandy and Bernard the Bear, saying how he's running for Senate. And Brandy said, in the name of safety, the match between Cody and Shane Taylor will be cancelled. And Shane came out and said, I didn't need safety. I grew up around violence. And Brandy said, I'm happy that we moved away from people like Shane. And then, like, Cody's like, I'm trying to run for governor here. Don't mess with Texas. And he attacked Taylor, but managed it. He went for Taylor again, but managed to hit Bernard the Bear. So they all ran off to build up to what was to come. Then with the 6-man tag titles, the Kingdom retained against Atlantis, Stuka Jr. and Guerrero Mayer Jr. Marty Scurll beat Flip Gordon and Jay Lethal. Afterwards, Bully Ray beat the shit out of Flip Gordon and said that Bully Ray said he was going to out wrestle Gordon at best in the world because he's very accomplished. So I guess that's another way to maybe get All In, considering how he lost and Maxwell Jacob Friedman's All In. I'm intrigued to see how that goes in Chicago. Hurricane Helms and Delirious beat the Addiction. Amazingly. It was crazy though. Just weird stuff. I mean, mainly because Helms and Delirious won it, so it was going to be a bit dodgy.
Right.
Briscoes beat the Killer Elite Squad with just a victory roll. And then said how they're going to kill the Young Bucks. And then cue the Bucks coming to super kick the Briscoes. So they had the last blow. Cody beat Shane Taylor thanks to Bernard eating a big attack from Shane. Then we had the Proving Ground 6-man mayhem. So it was Silas Young, Cheeseburger, Punishment Martinez, John Gresham, Scorpio Sky, and Adam Page. The winner would get an immediate title shot. And the big thing was Page was about to get the win after hitting Rite of Passage on Cheeseburger. But Punishment came in, took Page out with a curb stomp, and then a South of Haven chokeslam. And Punishment Martinez gets the pin. So he gets to challenge Silas. And hit him with a South of Heaven chokeslam. And Punishment Martinez is your new Ring of Honor World Television Champion.
I'm not sure about that booking.
Well, considering how the Austin Aries thing has gone out the fucking window. And Punishment Martinez has been worthy, I think, of a title shot sooner rather than later. He's developing into something with a better price. But, yeah. I see what you mean by you not being sure, but at the same time, hype and all that.
All right.
I mean, I want to get through Impact because, blimey. Because Grado got beaten the shit out of by Eddie Edwards. And then Tommy Dreamer did stuff and then is like, oh, how do you know about my wife? Or just, random stuff. Because they decided to end last week's show, not the one that just went by, but the week before, with Edwards and Sammy Callahan fighting each other in the woods. Which didn't really work. Because they're trying to be doing what the Hardys did, but it's not going to work. And Edwards says you're a fraud for wanting to stop violence when you became a hardcore fighter. And Dreamer rightfully goes, look, we got a lot more evidence about there being concussions and head injuries causing problems than we did back in the 90s. And of course, Edwards beat the shit out of Tommy. Don't give a shit.
Oh, real quick, some quick tidbits. So Impact is now part of the Chris Jericho cruise, which we know now. And Hyro says
that tease of Jericho teaming up with the Bucks.
Oh, I know. Jericho and the Bucks against OVE is what I'm seeing. I could totally see them do that. Book that now. Eddie and Sammy feud of the year. In Impact, I totally agree with that. And one Triple S also says, what happened to Davey Richards? Didn't he go back to school?
He went back to school, went back to being an ambulance guy or a firefighter or one of the two.
Yeah.
And then the sex tape leak.
That's a thing.
Yeah. That's what happened. Taya Valkyrie beat Rebel in a... I don't know what Rebel was trying to do. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it's still like... Yeah, she needs to learn more in Japan.
Yep.
And then she called out Madison Rayne because that was a thing. And then we get a reminder of how good Impact used to be when they show a flashback to the AJ Daniels and Samoa Joe match from Unbreakable 2005. You know, actual good stuff. Then Cult of Lee beating KM and Fella Bar. And then Bar got pushed to the ground by KM. And then he said he was done. What the fuck? Moose beat Eli Drake in the ECW arena in Philly, which apparently was for the championship shot at Slammiversary or something. Yeah. It was nice and all, but like, also why? Then Tessa Blanchard beat Kira Hogan in an ODQ match, which, you know, had some interesting spots in it, but again, it's like, imagine what would have happened if this was in, you know, another company in Florida. Then just a random El Vahia de Fantasma beating Jake Chris match, which was weird. Which led to basically OVE versus Mexico or something. And then Matt Sydal beat Brian Cage by countout because Congo Kong was involved. And then the backstage shit, Killer Cross showed up, apparently, as this person that's been leaving all these weird X's as calling cards. I completely didn't recognize him from his time in AAA. Also, he looks fucking terrible. I don't know how much of a career he's got, because my answer is fucking none. Anyhow. I mean, let's be honest, the best Impact footage of the week was the bloody clips from the Global Wrestling Network that was on the Hardys documentary, including Sting saying, I agree. I agree. I'm amazed that they showed it. Then again, anything to make the competition look bad, they're going to fucking show, aren't they? So, there you go. Dominion. Did Owen go to sleep?
I'm here.
We're trying to talk Dominion.
Oh, boy. There's a lot of new. So basically, this is how Wednesday's going to go from moving forward. We're going to.
They've actually just announced that it's going to be Adam Cole versus Wolfgang. Okay, that's a bit of a fucking disappointment.
Interesting.
For tomorrow.
Pyro says Jericho doesn't want to compete in the States because they want to disrespect Vince.
Well, bollocks to it. If the rumors are true and Vince is trying all he can to stop Ring of Honor having Madison Square Garden,
that's not gonna happen.
does that mean he stops the UFC because they're like actual competition? We'll see.
So here's how the show's going to go from now on. Usually we're going to go with WWE, then we're going to go into Impact, then we're going to go into Ring of Honor, and we're going to end with New Japan. That's usually what we're going to be doing moving forward. Every Monday night. We're going to try to cut the shows in half so they're not like 4 hours long as much as we can. I'd like to like a 2.5 hour if I have to push it through, but because we're almost there.
I'll mention some of the highlights from some of the indie stuff and the shows coming up this weekend, but I won't go into full details or anything.
Yes, again, as always, I have to work in the morning, so
yeah.
Let's talk about Dominion.
I mean, where do we start?
God, I wanted to watch this live. Obviously, everybody knows if you're watching the show. April and I were doing a special 5K that day. What was the 4.9?
Let's actually lead in with the fact of that incredible Best of the Super Juniors final.
Yes.
With Ishimori and Takahashi. That was a really good thing. Really good match. Exceptional. I think it even actually got 5 from Dave if you actually care about that system.
Pretty sure.
And then bloody Naito managed to break the fucking trophy.
Oh, God.
So, yes. New Japan actually opened with Harold May, the new president, basically wanting it to become a global thing. I wonder what that means. So Suzuki-gun retained the junior heavyweight tag belts over Roppongi 3K with some sort of heelish shenanigans and whatever from Suzuki-gun, which you'd expect. Dave Finlay and Juice Robinson beat Jay White and Yoshihashi.
Telling you, this is it.
With Robinson pinning Jay White.
It's
official. It's official that Juice Robinson versus Jay White is happening at the Cow Palace.
And we are going to see Juice Robinson finally win a singles championship. Another thing that I have prophesized for many, many months. It's finally going to happen.
In order Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr., Suzuki-gun beat Ishii and Yano of Chaos.
I'll give them credit here. They could have went for an easy, cheap win from Yano getting the roll up. But no, they just... I believe the terminology that is always used on the show constantly is basically winning by kicking way too much ass.
Yeah. But the best thing is Ishii and Suzuki just beat the shit out of each other.
Well, yeah, of course.
Before, during, and after the match.
I'm good with that.
That gets complicated. We'll get to it. Then Elgin beat Goto and Taichi in the freeway for the Never Openweight title.
I called this.
Yeah, but I didn't call Michael Elgin looking like a fucking action man. What is up with that?
I called Michael Elgin winning the Never Openweight title. I was like, I didn't think they'd go with it, but yeah, it's what happened.
But did you call him wearing pants?
Well, no, not really.
That just seems weird. Then the Young Bucks beat Evil and Sanada to become the proper tag team champions. Then
finally happened, and we've been calling it on this network for a long time, and it finally happened once again.
Bullet Club of Cody, Page, and Marty Scurll beat Tanahashi, Liger, and Mysterio.
I thought that Cody would get the win on Tana, but he got the win on Liger, so I'm okay with that.
And then the triple main event.
Dear God.
Takahashi beat Ospreay in a great match. Then I didn't think they pulled the trigger on it, but Jericho's the new Intercontinental Champion.
This match was really good, too.
It went on for about 35 minutes. Because the first 10 minutes, the bell didn't even ring. They just beat the shit out of each other at the ringside area.
So the match went about 18 minutes, actually, from bell to bell.
With a Japanese table.
Oh, my God. That was vicious.
The bleeding from Naito's eye. Ugh.
This is nasty, nasty match. And I like the fact they gave Jericho the Intercontinental title, and now they're building a program with him and Evil.
At some point. I don't know when.
Doesn't matter when. The seeds have been planted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of that, comments from chat real quick. Hyro says, finally, Wednesday show, like, damn, dude, that show's been delayed. Yeah, I know. That's what this is now. This is the new Wednesday show, by the way. Hyro says the 2-hour stream makes up for the 3 hours of crappy Raw. One Triple S asks for a little bit of Lucha Underground coverage tonight. Do we have any?
Well, the first episode happened.
Okay, we can talk a little bit about that, but we gotta keep rolling with the punches. And Chaos is falling off. They lost all their belts. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big thing.
Yep.
Because let's get to the big one. Kenny Omega actually pulled the fucking trigger on Omega.
So
holy shit!
This match, my God, I'm sitting in April's car. We're like getting ready to go run, and I'm watching the second fall on my iPhone, and I'm like, my God, this match is fantastic. And I'm like, oh, false finish after false finish, and I was like, the only thing missing from this match that I swore they'd go with is Omega hitting the Rainmaker and Okada hitting the One Winged Angel and double kickouts. So they still haven't done that yet. So that's something they can still do down the line. But those V triggers, oh my God. Okada's neck just zaps back, and I was like, whiplash effect to the nth degree. I hope Shibata returns Hyro as long as he's able to.
We'll see. And then, of course, what came from that was the New Day Elite. Well, actually, the first thing that happened...
We'll get to that in a minute.
The first thing that happened was the Golden Elite.
The Golden Elite, yes.
The biggest selling shirt in the history of pro wrestling tees. In its first day.
I'm still butthurt it's not available at Hot Topic yet, so I'm going to have to wait a couple weeks to be able to get it myself, but I will have it.
And then when doing the video game stuff with E3, they seem to drop heavy hints, both in the Being the Elite video that's around it, and also the actual E3 coverage on Capcom's feed, which was technically WWE's up, down, down channel.
Yep.
They seem to be dropping a tease that something's happening.
Yeah, I can see that.
Part of me is wondering whether there is something going on to have some sort of weird ass super show. Probably in North Korea. Because they're going to fuck up WCW's figures. Because they are going to get it. 300,000 people in the stadium with Kim Jong-un.
Wouldn't be surprising.
I mean, with Trump as president, and Dennis Rodman as his advisor, it's sort of anything can happen.
But by and large, like, I watched the video game coverage too. I watched the stuff that they did at the Capcom booth, and it was some good stuff. Now, Xavier Woods does not get enough credit for being good on the mic. He's very quick-witted. He definitely, he's got the skills to be like a top singles champion if they pull the trigger on him. But I mean, are we going to see? It's funny because I like the tease in the end of being the elite. Basically, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have, we're gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's like we're gonna play them in basketball. And then off camera, you hear it's like, oh, we just challenged them to a wrestling match, and we end credits.
Unless that's happening on the boat.
You know.
Unless not right. What if they fucking did that for All In?
All In would make the most sense, to be honest.
And again, because if it is a Ring of Honor show, that's my concern.
But it's not. That's the thing. It's
but
not.
It is. That's the problem.
It is, but it's not.
Because Sinclair came out and said it's them. That's the issue. In actual earnings stuff and interviews with the press, Sinclair are sort of proudly saying that they're the ones that are the logistics behind being the elite.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you could possibly have set up something really big. Like, don't forget, like for the Brian Pillman Memorial shows, all the WWF talent at the time, they came and did the shows. The WCW guys did the shows. There was matches with WWF versus WCW and versus ECW, and just like things you would never see in a million years. What if for All In, since it's not a branded show, what if this is something that ends up happening? You got your main event for All In is the New Day versus the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could see them doing that too.
Kenny isn't booked.
Nope. Hold on.
The Bucks aren't booked.
Not yet, at least.
Because Cody's busy.
Yep. Welcome to the his winning of the NWA Championship.
Let's hope.
Oh, I almost guarantee it's going to happen. Hyro, see, what the thing is, Cody's going to win the NWA Championship and the Ring of Honor Championship, and he's going to challenge Omega for a GP Championship. So it's going to be like gold all across the board. Let's see. Jericho match when Naito comes out and drops the belt. Don Callis says the IC belt is not on the line for confusion. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. When Triple S says a lot of people during TakeOver did a lot of V-triggers. Yeah. And Hyro's talking about Kenny's Deep South days being focused on the network lately.
Oh, fuck WWE. It's like, oh, we want him. We really want him. It's like, fucking hell.
It's the equivalent of what they did. What
you
Impact
had this footage for years and you chose now.
Well, Impact smartly were promoting CM Punk when he won the WWE Championship. Like CM Punk and NWA TNA.
Yeah, but did you notice?
Watch him job to Raven. I'm not wrong.
Did you notice in that original article they had for the Kenny Omega Young Bucks versus Elite thing? They said that Kenny was an indie star.
Oh, jeez.
So condescending. That disappeared within a day or two, I think, because people were like, yeah, might not be the best thing to say.
One Triple S says G1 is going to be pointless. We're going to be Okada or Naito winning. Don't be too sure of that. But we'll get to that now. But first, One Triple S wants to stay. LAX needs to end. We're tired of them. Okay, here's the question: are you tired of EYFBO, or are you tired of just the brand of LAX? Because don't forget, we got
I'm tired of Eddie. I'm tired of Eddie Kingston thinking he's a black man.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston's coming off like super Scarface right now.
How? Did you see that fucking promo?
I did.
The world. He literally said the world is for fuck's sake.
I know he did. The thing is, I mean,
this is why the Scarface film isn't being remade, because dicks like this are making us remember that the original one was better.
Well, we've got Homicide and Hernandez back together, trying to take out. It's like the battle of the Midnight Express. Like Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose versus Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane, like they did in the NWA. That's exactly what the storyline's going to end up being.
He's not booked.
No.
Oh, it's Dennis Stamp, my bad.
But still, Dennis Condrey's not booked either. But the thing is,
he's not all in.
No. Midnight Express are not all in. Definitely not. But yeah, I mean, yeah, One Triple S is Brian Cage in the X Division, then you name it the Extreme Championship. He's too big to be in the X Division. Once again, One Triple S, you have to remember, it's not about what is it? It's not about weight limits. It's about no limits. That's always been the gimmick of the X Division. The X Division is not a cruiserweight title. It's what a lot of people don't realize. Don't forget, PCO was in the X Division back in the day. Don't forget that.
Let's be honest. If Killer Cross doesn't challenge for the X Division title,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like I said, PCO was in the X Division back in the day when he was just simply called X and wore a mask. So I mean,
X, the Eliminator, Harvey Berman.
Jiminy Christmas. Let's get more into this here. Let's talk G1.
Well,
I
could go through the fucking names, but I won't because we've got the blocks. The matches are going to be announced in a matter of hours.
Yep. Sorry, we're not going that long tonight, guys.
During the Kazuna Road, which is the Super Strong Machine retirement ceremony, I believe.
Yes, correct. And that T-shirt is awesome.
So A block is Togi Makabe, which I think is a risk considering how he's only just coming back from fucking injury and everything.
Right.
Michael Elgin, Tanahashi, Okada, Jay White, Yoshihashi, Bad Luck Fale, Hangman Page, Evil, and Suzuki. So yeah, despite all their fucking fighting and everything that was clearly building towards something to do with the G1, Suzuki and Ishii are in completely different blocks. Which is making me wonder, are they going to be the final two?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Well, why did they do all that build-up?
I think it's just, again, it's to whet your appetite for wanting to see it down the line.
Yeah, but if the rate we're going, we'll never see it. But then the really tasty, you could call it the group of death, in all honesty. Oh, by the way, yeah, Adam Page is just randomly in this. I'm pleased for him. Also, Farley's back after whatever's been going on with him because he's been missing for months.
He dropped a ton of weight, too.
Juice Robinson, Hiroki Goto, Ishii, Yano, probably don't the odd one out there, maybe. Tamatonga, Sanada, and then the four of Naito, Sabre Jr., Ibushi, and Omega. Yeah, the Golden Lovers collide before we even get to the final. Tanahashi and Okada collide before we even get to the final. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, I think if they're smart, they'll keep Ibushi and Omega away from each other because that's the money match down the line.
That might be the one that decides the group. I think they'll be putting that towards the end.
It's possible. What if this is setting up for Evil to win the G1 this year?
That wouldn't make sense because of the build with Jericho.
I thought Jericho would be in the G1. I thought Cody would be in the G1 this year, and they didn't do that either.
I think Jericho and Evil's happening, and Okada's going to beat Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom.
I could see that being a good possibility.
And Omega facing somebody.
We'll Bryan Danielson. At this rate,
he'd have to win the briefcase. He'd have to win the briefcase somehow.
He could. There's ways. Hyro says Matt Cross and Impact. It's happened before, but I don't think it's gonna happen now.
Because of Lucha Underground, he can't be.
One Triple S says Pentagon versus Omega on the Jericho Cruise. Doubtful, but you never know.
The one that would be interesting is Penta versus Okada.
That would be good.
I sense something with that. Then again, I don't know whether Okada's on the cruise. Perhaps I'm thinking about All In.
Possible.
And then
stuff when we get more information.
Takahashi retained against El Desperado with the junior title, which was apparently very good. And then Goto beating Elgin in a so you change the title why match.
Yep.
I don't think there's any title matches set for this final Korakuen Hall show. But then the Cow Palace. Hang on. NewJapan1972.com. Schedule. Please.
Of course.
I need a fucking card. There we go. The only matches confirmed so far. Evil and Sonata's rematch for the IWGP tag titles against the Bucks. Omega defending the heavyweight title against Cody, who at that point may or may not be Ring of Honor champion. Probably will be, though. Juice Robinson challenging Jay White for the US heavyweight title.
Titles changing hands.
And Okada and Ospreay versus Naito and Bushi. More will be added probably in the upcoming days. The big thing also, I might as well mention this now, even though it is next weekend. The CEO New Japan crossover thing, tournament, is happening.
Yeah.
With Kenny Omega's and Kota Ibushi's friend, Namasuka or something it is? I can't remember.
I believe so.
Being involved in actual wrestling rather than anything, so
he's doing an open challenge.
This is the really interesting match that's happening today. LIJ is facing Super Strong Machine Ace, Super Strong Machine Buffalo, Super Strong Machine Justice, Super Strong Machine Don. Did they do that for Callis? I don't know. And then Super Strong Machine number 69. With Super Strong Machine in their corner. I have no fucking clue. Also, why the fuck is Jeff Cobb doing stuff when he isn't part of the G1? I don't get this. At all. Speaking of Jeff Cobb, though, Spoilers.
Hold on.
Lucha Underground.
Before we get to that, I do want to mention so you were talking about the Super Strong Machines. I'll tell you, Super Strong Machine Ace, shock surprise, is Tana. 69 is Taguchi. Justice is Yuji Nagata. Buffalo is Tenzan. Don is Nakanishi. And that's pretty guaranteed at this point. Let's talk about the CEO show real quick, because it is next week. Main event, When Worlds Collide, Golden Lovers. Current IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega teams up with Kota Ibushi to take on Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi.
Yep, I approve.
Oh, I want to see this. Oh, I want to see the show so bad. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to.
It's being streamed on the CEO Gaming Twitch channel for free.
I don't care. I could totally be there live, but I can't because I have other engagements.
Yeah.
Roppongi 3K take on Dragon Lee and Ryusuke Taguchi.
Yeah, it looks as if Dragon Lee versus Hiromu might be happening at the Cow Palace.
Yep. Juice Robinson and David Finlay take on the Guerrillas of Destiny.
Fuck.
Yep. Jushin Thunder Liger versus Rocky Romero. And Jeff Cobb takes on Chase Owens.
Where's Golden Lovers guy?
There will also be dark matches, and I'm guessing that would be where that guy comes in, most likely. The t-shirt's pretty awesome. Yeah, more information if you want to check out. You want to get tickets, it's ceogaming.org, so you can find out more information about the show. Tickets are still available at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, so yeah, I really want to go, but it's not going to happen. It sucks, but maybe next time. Lucha Underground, let's take it home. Oh, first, God bless it. Hyro says, what is Jesse Goddard's wanting to be Tito Sabatelli in Lucha Underground? Does he have any Lucha abilities? My guess is no.
Lucha Underground is no longer about actual Lucha.
Okay, we'll get to that. Hyro says he's going to be the first American to win the U.S. Championship. You darn right he is, and I've been talking about it for a while. One Triple S says Garza Jr. is now officially working for WWE. Yeah, I've seen that. Can't Matt Cross be an Impact because of Johnny, Taya, Penta, and Phoenix also be able to be an Impact even though they're in Lucha? He probably can be, but I don't.
Depending. Well, because Taya and Johnny have sort of fallen out with AAA.
Yep.
I don't know how long they have in terms of what they've got.
Right.
Oh, was it with you where I brought up? Yeah, we the last show we did, we brought up the Jeff Jarrett crazy shit where he's champion, didn't we?
Correct.
And I ran over the stats that the last person to have actually lost the belt and actually stayed in the company was El Tejano.
Yes.
That's how bad the situation is in AAA anyway. Triple Mania looks like a fucking mess. Especially because I'm hoping La Parka's fighting at Triple Mania in apparently a hair versus mask match. Despite the fact that a month after that, he's in a more significant mask versus mask match. And we're actually talking about LA Park, like the original La Parka. Not Triple A's La Parka. So there's the possibility that he loses his mask, which totally ruins CMLL's booking. So I don't know. So, season 4 began with a barely anybody attending funeral of Dario Cueto. And Agent Winter's there saying, look, Dario was murdered. You can't use the temple. It's a crime scene. And then some mysterious bloke comes in and goes, I have some space that will become the new temple. Just so happens to be Dario's father, Antonio. And then aside, Winter basically says, we know that Dario's murder was ordered by Antonio. And Antonio looks over Dario's body, grabs the key from his neck, and then just shuts the casket on him. They do a 10-bell salute to Dario, but that gets interrupted by his dad. He says, my name is Antonio Cueto. I am the new owner and promoter of Lucha Underground. There was a portrait of Dario which he just threw out a fucking window and said, right, Aztec Warfare. We're just going right from the off. It's also worth noting the guy that plays Dario / Antonio Cueto doesn't know how to do anything other than Dario Cueto because he's absolutely terrible as Antonio. It's blatantly him. So Mac and Killshot on the ring, and Antonio says that the trios champs will be numbers 1, 2, and 3. However, Dante Fox is missing in action, which I guess is code for we ain't fucking booking him. Despite the crazy shit that actually happened last season with him and bloody Killshot / Shane Strickland. So whoever is number 3 will be their new partner. And it just so happens to be Son of Havoc. Mac and Killshot don't approve of this. The great thing is, I think by the end they actually do. I don't know. Joey Ryan's in at number 4. Then Mr. Pectacular at number 5, which is Jesse Goddard.
He's back to doing that gimmick again?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then, interestingly, at number 6 is Pentagon Dark. Tommy Dreamer's number 7. And Pectacular gets eliminated by Pentagon because, of course, he does, you fucking cunt. Mariposa is at number 8. Most of these people are getting eliminated anyway. Then Vinny Massaro, the fat Italian bloke, comes in at number 9. Beats up a pizza delivery man because he can't pay for the pizza. Offers Penta a slice, but gets a super kick and gets Pentagon driving into the pizza that's left in the box. Then Hernandez shows up from out of nowhere at number 10. Johnny Mundo's number 11. Then Ricky Mundo with some creepy-ass doll shows up at 12. Phoenix is 13. Jeremiah Crane is 14. Then Mil Muertes is in at 15. Darga with Cobra Moon is at 16. Chavo, who I thought was dead, shows up at 17. Can't even remember. King Cuerno, number 18. Then Dragon Azteca, number 19. And then number 20. Cobra Moon and Vibora come out, attack Mundo because he eliminated Darga. Then Marty Martinez comes in at number 20. And all sorts of crazy shit. The most important thing is it's down to Marty and Penta. Which Penta just about wins with a flipping pole driver from the top, followed by a package pole driver to win. So, and then snaps Marty's arm afterwards as well. But that's history because it's the first person to go in as champion and come out as champion at Aztec Warfare. And then Antonio Cueto comes out and says, look, while my son would have made you defend the title immediately, I'm a better promoter than he ever was. Therefore, next week, Pentagon, you'll be defending your title against my only son, Matanza. So yeah, Pentagon versus Jeff Cobb, everybody. is happening. Wow. And stuff. It was the fact, though, it was Aztec Warfare to kick it off was probably the right thing because it got people back into the flow and introduced some of the characters. And because it was just like they wanted to be wrestling heavy with this one, apart from like the intro of like introducing Dario's dad. Let's just say, though, by the end of it, it's getting confusing, especially because Jack Swagger shows up. And remember the shit they did last year about, Puma and Mundo and the cash-in by Penta? And remember the bit when Penta and Vampiro had a feud? Combine those two with the terrible booking of AAA, and it looks like that's where we're going for the season 4 finale. So please be excited to steal words from Nintendo's press conferences, because I'm fucking petrified. So in other little bits of news and bits, Women of Wrestling have just announced that they're going to be coming to Access TV in 2019. There's going to be more than New Japan on there now. They're going to be doing some tapings and stuff over the next few weeks and all that. The big thing we didn't mention from NXT TakeOver, Keith Lee was shown in the crowd, and everybody went fucking crazy to bask in his glory.
Of course.
The WWE Australia Arena Stadium show is official at the MCG Cricket Ground in Melbourne. With Triple H versus Undertaker one last time apparently happening on it. The issue, if you want to see it live, if you're in America, starts 3 a.m. Eastern. Midnight West Coast.
Wow.
Dear fuck. You actually fuck. Oh, Kota Ibushi's all in. That's a thing. The rumor is Miko Satomura might be in Mae Young Classic 2 Electric Boogaloo, which should probably make sense. Pivot Share launched the Power Slam Wrestling Network, which I'm guessing is trying to be what Flow Slam was trying to be. Except they're charging reasonable prices for it instead. Moro missed TakeOver Chicago because of his boxing commitments, because Showtime basically have first dibs. And whatever. I guess, quickly mention the UFC, CM Punk nearly got knocked the fuck out, but the guy who was facing Mike Jackson was a pussy-ass bitch and didn't want to knock him out. Therefore, neither have careers in UFC anymore, according to Dana White. That's interesting. The Access TV before the Cow Palace show is going to be doing a Bullet Club marathon. The Bullet Club is Fine marathon on Access TV, so if you've got that, keep an eye out on it and all that. Don't think there's any other details. Recently, John Cena is going to be in Project X. No, not that one. I don't know what it is. It's something. Oh, and we've also got the Strong Style UK show that I completely forgot about, happening in conjunction with Rev Pro. At the same time as the whole Best in the World stuff, for Ring of Honor. And also the shows with Rev Pro the same weekend. So that's gonna be a clusterfuck, innit? We've got CEO, we've got the Rev Pro New Japan shows, and then we got Ring of Honor at the same time. I guess the big stuff coming out of the UK shows is Suzuki and Sabre Jr. defending the tag belts against Okada and Ishii. And Ishii defends against Suzuki for the British Heavyweight title on the second show, with Okada versus Zack Sabre Jr., the rematch happening as well. So I'll have to see what happens there. I think they've still got to announce who the person is that's going to be on the undercard, facing Shota Umino on night 1 and Dan Duggan on night 2. They've yet to announce it, supposedly. I think this week is season 2 of Glow on Netflix, I believe. I'm not sure. I think it's happening. In terms of results, the big stuff from the past few weeks, new WSU Spirit and World Champions. Tessa Blanchard is the new World Champion, beating Mercedes Martinez, and Jordan Grace beat Kira Hogan to become the new Spirit champ as well. Travis Huckabee won the Johnny Kidd Invitational by disrespecting, and I guess disrespecting Colt Cabana in the final afterwards. So clearly he's gone rudo now and all that. CZW Tournament of Death was won by, I'm trying to remember, Jimmy Lloyd, actually. Although I did see how Drew Parker, the Welshman, was ecstatic over actually being in his. I think we covered all the rest of that. Some of the women's shows, if I can actually find them, from the UK, briefly. Progress had its Progress World Cup on the 13th, so last Wednesday. England won it with Chuck Bambo. I don't know whether that by law means that we win the football / soccer World Cup. I don't know. I doubt it. I can't, I can dream. There you go. So the Pro Wrestling Eve stuff. Chris Wolf beat Rebel Kenny, I'd say, in a big one, and Charlie Morgan beat Sky Smithson and whatever. She Evolution did well from what I hear, though, which was, I guess, good to hear. The Feeling Called Progress show, the last Progress Wrestling show from last weekend, the 10th. Stephanie Newell, Nixon Newell, or whatever. I can't even remember what name she's going under now. It's something that's nothing like any of it. Couldn't compete, I think, because she got injured on the download shows that NXT did. So Dakota Kai challenged Ginny instead. The final of Natural Progression, which is going to be at Chapter 72, which I'm not sure if that's this weekend. I'll have to look it up. It's going to be Chris Ridgway versus Mark Davis. So this was the interesting one. There was a match with Volta and Jack Sexsmith versus the South Pacific Power Trip with Travis Banks and TK Cooper. The deal being, if Volta or Sexsmith got the pin on Banks, they get the title shot. If Banks got the pin, neither Walter or Sexsmith would get a title while he was still champion. And if Cooper got the pin, he would get an Atlas title shot. And apparently, basically what happened is Jack Sexsmith could have had it won, and it was just like, you're the better guy, you can do it. Let Walter get the pin. So Walter gets another shot at the Progress World title somewhere down the line. And then in the main event, Ginny beat Dakota Kai to retain the women's title. But then Stephanie Newell did challenge Ginny to a title match somewhere down the road. I suggest NXT tapings, because that'd be awesome. I don't think it'd happen, but there you go. I need to quickly bring up my notepad to get the notes as to when these shows are happening. I think. Oh yeah, PWG just announced that PCO is in the bowler. I don't know where that came from, but it happened. I guess it occurred. We can probably mention that much for sure. They are getting ready, at least at Pro Wrestling Eve, I think, for the She One at some point very soon. So I have to see what goes on with that. Doesn't seem to be anything big to mention, at least in terms of stuff that we missed. I guess the Fight Club Pro show, which they had to have at the Diamond Banqueting House because the venue had some fire damage, the Starworks warehouse, so they weren't cleared to do it. The Pro Wrestling Revolver tag titles changed hands with Millie McKenzie and Pete Dunne, which they're calling themselves the Bruiser Mates because they couldn't call themselves the Best Friends. They beat the champs, the best season in the world of Matt Fitchett and Davey Vega. They are having a rematch on the next show, but that's not till next weekend. Let me just double check because, yeah, the Progress Chapter 72, which probably Owen won't get because he doesn't know about the phenomenon of the Panini sticker book in terms of football / soccer. The show's entitled Got Need. I guess it's sort of the equivalent of like having the whole 151 Pokemon. So when you traded with your friends, it was like got need. That the best way that I can compare it? Maybe, Owen?
I'm not
you
sure.
To understand? I don't know.
Tapping the wrist, good sir.
I know. But yeah, although there isn't an event page for it, I can clearly see on the poster that the Electric Ballroom in London on the 24th of June is hosting it. So that's obviously this weekend. And then the other stuff, if I get to where I have my actual sort of filled in dates, as long as this is accurate, which I think it somewhat is. We've got Southside Wrestling going to have a show this weekend. AAW has one of its big shows on Saturday. Beyond Wrestling with Nick Gage versus AR Fox. I remember that one coming this Sunday. Preston City Wrestling is having a show as well up in Preston, I think. Or it might be Blackpool. I'm not sure what that show is. PWX is having, I don't know whether that's the X16 like tournament that they're having. Let me have a quick look. PWX's Facebook page to get that. AIW is back with a show this Friday. Probably with Nick Gage on. Who knows? The WWN Evolve doubleheader is happening, including Adam Cole versus Volta. I think Northeast Wrestling is having some sort of show going down. The MLW tapings aren't till July the 12th. There's a Shikara show also coming this weekend, so that'll be up on Shikaratopia for people to watch live if they subscribe to it. Quick look through the other dates. Smash Wrestling's got a show up in Canada as well this weekend. I can't see any others. It's just a double header. PWX Pure 3 on Saturday, and then Sunday, Dawn of a New Day. No, it isn't. Yes, it is, mate. I don't know. So quite a lot of shows going down this weekend. As I say, I'll try and sum up most of them with some brief bits and mentions. But as we wind towards summer, things will start picking up, especially when you've got Bowler tournaments and Shikara King of Trios tournaments. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot. King of Trios. Solo Darlings teaming up with Molly Holly. I am so pleased for Solo. You know, because normally it's like you get paired with other people in Shikara and whatever. But the fact that she's actually getting to pair with, you know, one of the, could you say, flag bearers for the women's division?
I would say so.
Back in the proper glory days before it went too diva-ish. When we actually had wrestlers in like 04, 05, 06. Yeah. Please be excited and stuff. I don't even know whether Shikara Pros announced any other bloody announcements. But, you know, I'll bring that up next week because it'll be coming in sooner rather than later.
Okay, this is rapid fire, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll get everything. One Triple S says Antonio Cueto for Raw General Manager, SmackDown General Manager.
No.
Luis
because it's Dario Cueto in a fucking terrible wig.
Fair. Luis Fernandez, Gil is doing really good. Hyro misses Ricochet and Lucha. Too bad NXT tweaked his ring style.
Yeah, I can see that.
Spoiler alert, Jake Strong wins Lucha Underground. Same thing Penta did with the Gift of the Gods Championship and aligned with Vampiro.
Oh, I see.
What is with Vampiro betraying people? What he did to Taya?
It's been a problem with Vampiro since ever. Even not in well, obviously massively in AAA, but there you go.
Okay. Is Jeff Cobb released from Lucha Underground?
It seems like it because he's being able to do as much as he is. He was restricted though. He was actually doing the tapings as Matanza, but I can't remember whether they've actually killed Matanza off.
Did they ever show
like they did with Cuerno and all that? Not Cuerno. Ricochet, Prince Puma.
Did they ever show Ono and Keith Lee from Access?
I don't think so. Then again, if you look at the way the tapings are, you know, keep in mind that the first round matches, apart from the Gallagher Gulak one, which was on 205 Live, the other 7 matches got put up for free on WWE's YouTube channel. Right. So if you want to see El Ligero, you can.
How are they going to deal with Mysterio?
Who? Lucha?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't even know whether he's even booked on the show. I think he is because he's appeared in the TV packages, but he wasn't part of Aztec Warfare. Then again, neither was Sexy Star. Is that a fucking negative thing?
Oh, wow. Don't forget Chuck Liddell versus Goto Ortiz.
Oh, yeah, that random fight in... I don't know whether that's Bellator or something. Somebody's beating the shit out of somebody. Who knows?
God, One Triple S says, no, Chuck. God, no, Chuck is old. That's why Dana told him to retire 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Has One Triple... Right. Oh, sorry. Has Austin Aries appeared at the Ring of Honor tapings?
No.
No.
Well, he wasn't part of the iPay-per-views. The tapings happened a few weeks back. I don't think he was part of them.
Nixon is now Tegan Knox.
That's it.
Terrible name. Stephanie looked like Stephanie in the wig for the undercover boss.
Oh, that. It not only did it look like Stephanie in the wig, they tried a fake nose, which didn't work. They didn't do anything about the chin when you can tell That's a fucking McMahon chin.
Oh yeah, totally. What
was that name for Buddy Nixon again?
Tegan Knox.
That sounds too much like Tejo Khan.
Oh geez, good lord.
Mulan.
Body slam. Where the Hyro says where the F is AOP or Sanity? Sanity should be coming up SmackDown soon, and
Sanity, who the fuck knows? Let's hope it shows up tomorrow. AOP.
Visa issues apparently.
Oh, is that it?
I'm pretty sure that. Well, that's what it was.
Wow.
That's what it was originally, and now there's just creative has nothing for them because they want to push McIntyre and Ziggler instead, and the B team.
Oh, hang on. I can actually get it to load. Oh! Tony Nese beat Lince Dorado, and Authors of Pain beat Breezango on main event.
Lame.
They still exist. It's just you're watching the wrong fucking show.
If Travis Banks loses, he goes to the UK division.
I mean, he lost, but he will be part of the UK division.
Favorite Zach.
Turn that down.
Favorite Zach Gibson match.
Oh. From what I've heard, the matches that he has as part of this tournament are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But even some of the stuff that he did in 5-Star with Mysterio and that was actually pretty good. There isn't because nobody really uses him as a singles person. I mean, Progress have just really used him as part of the Grizzled Young Vets and tag team stuff. But there's enough of a raw impact there, which is like, that's somebody to watch. It's sort of the equivalent of, I don't know, like the Rockers to some extent. When it's like, you know, James Drake is still good as well. You know, he's one to watch as well. But Zach Gibson's like the guy where it's like, if you're going to break this team up, which I don't think they are, at least possibly until after the Thunder Bastard at Wembley, something's going to happen there. Whether he's going to beat Dunn, I don't know. Because I think he can certainly be a good thorn in the side. I mean, if him and Drake do come into the UK division, them as tag team champions would be worthy British tag champs. I would say. Any other rapid fire comments? Or
last bit of it here. Hara says the stream is more interesting than Raw. Yeah, we tried to do so.
And so far, we've only gone about 2 and a bit hours, so you know we're actually shorter than it.
We wish you got more Ligero and Banks. It was like 8 minutes. Agreed. Iro says, yeah, there needs to be another Wednesday show. Wednesday show, I think that's what we're doing Monday now. We're doing the Monday show instead of a Wednesday show. It makes more sense with scheduling.
Yeah. Just because of the schedule that Owen has and everything, it's sort of the only place that we can fit it in. Plus, keep in mind, when we get to HHN times,
oh boy,
goes out the window.
Heck yeah, it does, especially this year.
Be down to me getting videos in a low enough quality so I can send them over to Owen in time.
Network is going to be on Ashley and AJ's back, and you'll get sipping snacks, and that'll be about what I'm going to be able to do during Horror Nights this year.
Probably.
And Acer gets the last word. According to SmackDown Live preview, Sanity are facing the Usos this week.
That's better than nothing.
We'll go with that.
I'm looking forward to that if that's the case.
That'd be good. That's going to be your show. Welcome, everyone, to the new Monday deal every single week. We'll try to cut down on hours next week. We'll see what we can. Lots to cover now.
Well, we won't have a pay-per-view to cover next week, will we?
Very true. Good point.
The next pay-per-view will be covering... I don't know whether we're doing Ring of Honor live.
It depends.
Afterwards. Depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Same goes for the following week with the New Japan at the Cow Palace. Then the weekend after that is Extreme Rules. Then the weekend after that is Slammiversary.
Jeez.
Then the weekend after that's All In. No, that's August. Fuck. We might actually have a week off then.
And then we build into SummerSlam, and then
build to SummerSlam, and
God,
build to Bound for Glory, even though that won't be till like 2019. Even though it is 2018. And then Ring of Honor. And that, well, I guess July and August is G1 time.
Yep. So lots of content wrestling wise coming on the network. So that's gonna be your show tonight. Ashley, where can we find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter at Ash is my name UK.
Follow me on Twitter at Siro and Disney. Follow the network at Popcast Network. Check out our Facebook fan page at Popcast Network. And as always, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more you've chosen a Popcast. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. Tune in tomorrow for more Ashley content. And we've got brand new Sippin' Snacks coming, probably some new snack stashes coming. AJ's got the weekend as always. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Stop fucking fighting Bailey and Sasha. We don't give a shit.